What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update and a few bits and pieces to get through today. First of all, we're going to talk about that Antonio Conte and Fabio Paratici meeting that we've all been waiting for. Apparently, it did take place today. Ali Gold says Fabio Paratici has flown out to Italy to hold talks with Conte in Turin about how the pair can assemble a squad together that allows the club to compete strongly in both the Premier League and Champions League. Antonio Conte is looking for at least 6 new arrivals at Spurs, and for the club to bring in some more experienced names to continue to improve the team's mentality in the big moments. He did follow on later in the day, Ali Golden says that Antonio Conte is happy and fully focused on staying at Spurs head coach next season, seeing as the meeting probably went well. Jack Pitbrook says that Antonio Conte and Paratici meeting in Turin today, Tottenham increasingly confident that Conte will now stay for next season. And Matt Law says Antonio Conte is set to stay on as Tottenham head coach. Paratici has promised Conte that Spurs will try and make at least 6 new signings this summer, with the majority of the £150 million invested into this club will likely go on the Italians' transfers. And then Romaro just confirmed it all and says that Antonio Conte will be Tottenham Hotspur manager next season.
Fantastic
so you're
news.
excited to go around all this next summer?
Yeah, I can't wait. But look, it's fantastic news. News that we look. It was everyone hinted at it over the last few days that it looks like, given the money and everything, that he was going to stay, and the fact that we ended the season so well. So it's good to get official confirmation, pretty much, that Conte will be here next season. And it's I feel bad for all the Arsenal fans who kept saying, you don't know if Conte's going to be here next season. That's all they had to say whenever we bring up that we had Conte. It's like, well, you don't know if he's going to stay. You don't know if he's going to be here. Well, here he is. He's staying next season.
When you have an argument with an Arsenal fan, you can literally say their argument before they even say, okay, yes, no trophies. Yes, Antonio Conte is going to be here next season, okay?
Yeah.
And then that's their argument gone.
That's it.
Pretty
much like exactly. So look, now they can get down to planning. I'm expecting things to start moving fairly swiftly now, because we know that Conte wants transfers to be completed before the South Korea pre-season tour, which is in just about 6 weeks' time now.
Yeah.
So not that long to go, so hopefully we start working with deals and getting them done. And I'm excited. I've been excited ever since the season ended, and the news has just been getting better and better. We had Spurs making Champions League on Sunday, injection of cash on what was it, Tuesday or something?
On Tuesday.
Harry Kane staying on Wednesday.
And on Thursday and Friday and Saturday we chill on Sunday.
Conte staying, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens on the weekend.
Absolutely.
Well, Fraser Forster is imminent. So.
And following on from that South Korean tour, actually, it's been confirmed that Spurs are going to Israel at the end of July, and we'll be there.
We're going to be going.
We're going to be there. We've booked our flights, we booked our tickets, and I can't wait. We're going to face Jose Mourinho's Roma up in Haifa in North Israel. So very much looking forward to that. So keep an eye out for the content for that. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's talk about Tottenham's list as per Sami Mokbel. And he says Ivan Perisic, Adama Traore, Richarlison and Alain Saint-Maximin are all on Tottenham's list. What do you make out of those players?
I think Adama, I would have taken him in January, but that's because of lack of options. I don't know if I want him anymore.
I agree.
I don't think it's needed. I think there's better options out there. Alain Saint-Maximin, I think, has done well for Newcastle. I think he's a good winger. Obviously unbelievable dribbling ability. But extremely frustrating at the same time. Obviously, if Newcastle have a lot of money, and if he's a big player for them, so if they're going to sell him, it will be big money, and I don't think he's worth it. So I wouldn't go for him either. If we're going to spend big money, I want someone better than Saint-Maximin, basically, is my point. Well, the other players, Perisic
and Richarlison.
Yeah, Richarlison, I'm obviously a massive fan of. I think he would be a fantastic signer for Tottenham, can play up front or off the left, and would have really good depth. And I think he's ready for a bigger challenge than Everton. And obviously Perisic knows Conte from his time at Inter and be a very good left wing back, but he is 33, so reservations about that. But in terms of how good he is and how good he's been last season, he's on a free, it makes sense. But it's definitely a short-term deal.
Yeah, there are more updates on Perisic we'll get into in a minute. But first of all, let's get into Sergio Reguilon. As Fabrizio Romano says today that many clubs, including top clubs, are interested in Reguilon, and he could have chances to leave Spurs this summer. Obviously, we've spoken about him at length over the past couple of days, saying that he could be one of the ones to leave, and Romano confirming that today.
Yeah, and I said I don't think we would have a problem with getting rid of him. I really don't. So because I think he's a good player. I think he's been all right at Tottenham. So I think teams will be in for him because he's a good left back. So I don't think we should have a big issue getting money for him and then getting players more suited to how Conte wants to play.
Yeah.
But look, I've got nothing against Reguilon. I don't think he's terrible or rubbish or anything like that, which people might say, or he's been a disaster or a flop. I don't think any of those things are true. I just think it's not worked out as much like for Conte, and that's just reality.
Next up, let's talk about Ivan Perisic now, as Romano says that Perisic is a player that Tottenham really want. They are waiting for his response to Inter's extension offer. Obviously, it's been known in the press that we're waiting for today for Perisic actually to give his answer to Inter as opposed to other options as well. And sports media set saying that the answer of Ivan Perisic has been postponed and his answer will now come on the 1st of June.
Yeah, it sounds like he's delaying. Maybe he's mulling over his offers.
Stalling.
Yeah, I mean, look, as I've said, I like Perisic. I think he's a really good player, and Conte likes him. So, look, I would rather Kostic, but Perisic is also a very good alternative and is on a free. So it's hard to say no. Be interesting to see though. But look, it's a deal that we wouldn't have done if Conte wasn't here.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't even think about it.
Absolutely. Next up is Bastoni. Calcio Mercato saying that Spurs are pushing for Bastoni in recent days, and the defender has received a call from Conte as well. I personally think this is actually going to get over the line. I've got very Christian Romero vibes about this one, and I'll be super excited if it does happen.
Yeah, let's hope the call went well. Obviously, it's pretty much widely reported that he's our number one target now. So, a left centre back, and if we can get him through the door, if we start with Bastoni, what a start to the summer that would be. So, 100%, I want him through the door. I think he's top quality.
Yeah. We touched on this next one just a bit before the update in terms of Tottenham's list, but Sammy Mockbell did follow on and say that Tottenham are actually very interested in Richarlison and could actually move for him this summer.
Is he one you would want?
Is he one I would want? I mean, I like him. I like him as a player, and I like him in terms of his versatility, striker, can play on the wing. So, I mean, I would take him, because when you're looking at the options that we've got now, Kulusevski, Son, Kane, he's not better than any of those players, in my opinion. So I think if we could bring him in as a squad player and to be like a player like to take Bergwijn and Lucas's role, I'm more than happy for that. And I think he's got more quality than maybe a Bergwijn and a Lucas.
He seems to get a lot of backlash on social media for some reason. I don't know why. A lot of people don't like him. I'm not really sure what the reason is.
He's got a bit of an annoying face. I think that's what it is.
And also Romero clattered into him as well.
Yeah, you know, he's always seemed to be like moaning on the pitch. I'm not saying he's got a bad attitude, but he seems to be a bit of a moaner on the pitch.
He's just a bit of a shithouse. Maybe it's just one of those things. If he's against you, then you hate
I think
it.
that's I said that in the transfer targets video, and I think that's definitely the case. I think that if you have a kind of shithouse player on your team, you love him. Like Romero, like when you're playing against him, you must hate him.
Yeah, opposition fans must hate Romero a lot. But look, I like Richarlison.
He's got quality.
And I think he's a fighter. He's got this, like, for some reason, he's got this reputation of being a prima donna and someone who down tools and stuff. But I think he fought for Everton.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I wouldn't want him as like the main man or anything like that. But as a squad player, I think he'd be brilliant.
I think he's got the potential to be a main man. I really do. I think he's that good.
I don't think he's going to ever reach the heights of maybe a Heung-min Son or anything like that. So,
yeah, I mean, but Son, you're talking one of the best in Europe.
But when you're replacing Son, you need to get back to somewhat of that level, and I don't think Richarlison is that player.
He's different. He's not that player, but he's different. I think he can be a leading Premier League player. I really believe that.
All right, let's talk about Harry Winks now. And Sammy Mockbell says that Tottenham have placed a £25 million valuation on midfielder Harry Winks. Southampton and Newcastle are understood to have early interest in Harry Winks. Let's get a deal done for James Ward-Prowse. That's what I say.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Let's hope. Look, I think Winks kind of makes sense for someone like Southampton. I actually think he would be good in their system because he plays the ball quickly in the centre, gets a lot of players forward, and he can a lot of players to pick out from. So I think Winks could be a good signing for Southampton. But
are they actually going to spend 25 million on him?
Why not? I think they could. I think they could, because he
Hardly
was
played any football over the last couple of years, and when he has done, he hasn't been great.
not 25, but I reckon between 15 and 20. I don't see why not. I think they
Only
might
because of
stump
that
up.
English tax. If he was not English, he would be going for like 5 to 10 million. Over
Yeah,
the last few
potentially.
appearances.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I don't see Newcastle going for him. I don't think that makes sense.
I think Eddie Howe kind of likes Harry Winks, and in terms of the options that they've got there, is he an upgrade on any of them?
John Joe Shelby, maybe.
I think John Joe's been pretty good since Eddie Howe's come in.
He likes a red card, doesn't he?
He loves it.
Winks can't get close to anyone to get a red card.
Harry Winks likes a no-show, never mind a red card.
True.
Anyway, let's move on to the last story of the update, and that is Bryan Gil. And Sammy Mockbell says that Tottenham are expected to sell Bryan Gil this summer after that terrible deal that we did in the summer, 25 million plus Lamella for Bryan Gil. Now we're looking to get rid of him, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, look, so Sammy Mockbell's quite reliable on this. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if it's another loan deal, but maybe if there is a possibility to sell him for, I don't think we'll get a profit for him, but what if there is a possibility to sell him, maybe we're thinking it's best to just cut our losses at this point. But I think it's a bit premature. I think I might as well loan him out and see if we can build some value.
Yeah, I agree with that, but maybe he holds value in Spain, and if you can get a good fee for him, and Conte doesn't really fancy him, then you may as well get it done.
I guess if he's never going to work out under Conte, then that makes sense. But I feel bad because I think he's got some talent. And maybe Conte believes he's just never going to be what he needs.
And it just shows, like, when you look back at our summer transfer window, Romero aside, like Emerson could go this summer. Gil could go this summer.
Galini's
gone this summer. I mean,
terrible,
great. Wasn't it?
Wasn't a great. Well, I guess we lacked direction, didn't we? Because Nuno was a last-minute thing, and then we weren't really sure what we were doing. And Paratici just came in, and we spent all that months looking for a manager. It was just a mess last summer. I think the transfer business shows that.
Yeah, Romero was like the shining light in that. I mean, thank God for Romero. Otherwise, it would literally be a 0 out of 10 window. But anyway, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news stories we brought to you today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.